Hytale's game director just dropped a big update about the game surrounding what's next, some curious information about free-to-play, and we break down some more answers from the team. This is a big one. It's been 6 months now since their last major development update, but every week we seem to be getting more and more communication from the Hytale team. Game director John Hendricks recently posted a large update in the form of an article. Looking back at the last blog post, John said, "The new engine progress they mentioned is still on track. They aim to build a, quote, high-performance block game engine, and that is no small feat. But the team are apparently smashing their goals and will definitely be seeing the fruits of that labor. Remember, Hytale is not just a block game, but an engine, a whole platform." So it's really good to hear that they're on track to get this thing visible relatively soon. In the last blog post on their website, they did state that they'd be significantly ramping up playtesting efforts, as well as spending the first half of 2024 onboarding their team to the now hopefully close to finished new engine. They're likely deep into those playtests now, and after this mini article from John, he even went on to confirm that the next update we get, at least from him specifically anyway, will be new gameplay, with one user asking if we will see gameplay in the next update, and John claiming the next one from me will. We've been hoping here on the channel that a big reveal of some kind was coming in the close to near future, and this smaller update to get us even more excited just might be teeing us up for something bigger. I mean, my friends and I have personally been predicting a summer blog post all year, and the team said they would only be updating us again when there's something to show, when the engine is ready to reveal. History has also shown us that July is a bit of a hotspot for summer updates when it comes to Hytale, and John even said last year that we should expect more frequent blog posts in 2024 than we had in 2023. I do feel we'll need to at least get 2 more blog posts this year then to make that statement from John true, and summer is already well underway. Looking back to John's post, he also mentions Orbis, the world that adventure mode takes place in, confirming that they have now thoroughly re-explored all areas. Factions like the Ferens in the deserts, Trorks in the woodlands, Outlanders in the snowy biomes, even undead and goblins that inhabit the ruins. All of these factions have had a full exploration similar to how the Quebecs have undergone over the years. No doubt you've noticed just how much love went into the Quebecs. Well, now all of the factions are equal in that level of detail, that care. Apparently we'll be blown away when we see these, and while the team doesn't want to spoil your first time actually playing the game, they said that they will still tease more details. It is clear that the scope of this game has widened significantly since the days of that 2018 trailer, and beyond the adventure mode being revolutionized and now wrapped up, I imagine they're turning their eyes to more things like Hytale Online, including the grand central structure that was teased in the last blog post called the Capital. According to John, the Capital has really helped them figure out how to much more strongly bring players together. A lot more than the original idea for a small social hub that the team may have had back in the day. They're now creating this central zone, this Capital, as a way for different playstyles and player capabilities to all integrate together. I really can't wait to see all of the details, and especially what sort of ecosystem all of this is going to cook up. The Capital will obviously be how we access a bunch of mini-games, but will there be even deeper experiences, more lore and social aspects, and how will something like the creator marketplace affect that central online area? There's genuinely a whole other half to this puzzle other than the adventure mode, which we still need to think about. This incredibly expansive potential for online play and for creative custom experiences. If you weren't aware, the community manager of Hytale has also been answering some bigger questions about the game every few weeks of the year, getting quotes from the team members themselves that work on those aspects of the game. This time we have answers about magic, customizable mobs, and one of the latest was about the progression of crafting stations in adventure mode. Principal design director Dravarius replied to a question about whether, similar to Terraria or Valheim, will you need to improve your stations to improve your gear? Dravarius then confirmed that you should certainly expect to get access to more and better crafting stations as you progress. It's a way to unlock more things to do and gives more challenge in terms of base layouts. You may need a new room for a new station, or your older station may need more space. That fancy new table over there could even need a wizard tower. I honestly really like this approach. The idea of placing a single crafting bench and it just remaining there for all of time with nothing else to do is a little boring. The thought of having multiple tables for different uses and environments would be really awesome, and as mentioned, may affect how you build and plan your base layouts. Will you make it all for looks, or will you maximize the efficiency of the pathways through your house so you're not running through 10 rooms to get to the enchanting table? That last bit that Dravarius said really gets to me too. The thought that there's even magical crafting tables that may even require larger structures around them to function, it's got me thinking a lot more about the fantasy aspects of this game again. Speaking of which, the next Ask Hytale question to drop was about magic, when one user asked how complicated the systems and spells will be, such as how many unique spells can you make and can you mix and match different combinations. Dravarius once again confirmed that they want their magic system to be really awesome and is currently a work in progress. They want it to be its very own journey or adventure. You don't just start with magic in adventure mode, but quote, you can go out and find it and make it part of your desired playstyle. This is interesting for two reasons. Of course, the first being that curiosity of where and what you'll find magic in. Perhaps spellbooks and tomes, as we've seen, or maybe in the gear and weapons that you equip. Perhaps even using one of those magical wizard crafting benches we just mentioned earlier. The second reason this is exciting is for the lore. We've been told that we are avatars within this Hytale universe. We're these innately magical creatures that can shapeshift and fly and do stuff similar to or even equal to Gaia herself, the person who, remember in the story, created Orbis, the world where adventure mode takes place. She is almost like another player, and the adventure world is just an example of what you can make with the tools in Hytale. It is, of course, odd then that unlike Gaia, we don't have any powers when we join adventure mode. And we covered this theory a bit some time ago on the channel, further backing up this idea that if Gaia has gone missing or the world is being attacked by something evil, that we may be limited as avatars due to her absence or some sort of nefarious presence messing with the permissions of the world or something, so that all other avatars that come to this world, Orbis, other than Varun himself, are rendered powerless, having to start their journey from scratch with no special abilities. Again, taking it away from the lore rabbit hole to some systems, once again Dravarius says that they really want magic to have particular uses and special cases that contrast with other skills and avenues that the player can learn and mess with. He ends by saying that even for those who are not wishing to be magical, you'll want to have a magical friend with you. But the last thing before that really did get me thinking. We have no idea what sorts of other skills there could be. Fishing, lockpicking, all sorts of different skills that we can utilize throughout the story, structures, and in dungeons that we come across. Someone who does probably know all of that, however, is game designer Goblin, who had more to say on pets and having your own little friends in the next Ask Hytale. They say they want to offer many sorts of pets and companions on the adventures throughout all experiences in Hytale, which means not just the adventure mode again, but online play and in other worlds. This plus Goblin saying that some of these friends could be convinced to wear a fancy hat or 2 or 3 suggests that we will be able to unlock, potentially buy, and even customize our own pets within Hytale's online component. Maybe, as I just said, even bring them into other players' experiences. And while there's a lot of cool focus on the parts of the game other than adventure mode, such as the online servers and creative tools, the team have clarified that there are plans to update Orbis and adventure mode story well into the future. With one user asking, since Orbis is now fully explored, does that mean that there are further horizons beyond it that might be explored in the future? And John quickly replied, 100% yes, and there is more to explore on Orbis as well, but there's plenty of time for that. This kind of backs up my small building theory that when we get Hytale, the story of Orbis may be a little open-ended and possibly could change and release new chapters over time, perhaps expanding the world and creating new lands like the other worlds that have been teased for years now. Next up is a really interesting spot by some community members, potentially overlooked by the team or even just not as important as some people are making out in the community for it to be, but in a recent job posting for a project technical lead in engineering, they mentioned they're looking for someone who has experience with frequently shipping updates, quote, to a live, free-to-play game as a service. That's right, there was mention of it being a nice to have worked on a free-to-play project before. Now, there's been a lot of debate over the years about whether it will cost money, you'll have to pay to play Hytale, or if the game will be free and then just have other monetizable aspects like add-ons or cosmetics. I've personally fallen on the side of free-to-play for some time now due to pretty much every Riot Games title following this model, but Hytale may be the exception to that rule. We don't know for sure. While we could go back and forth on the cons and pros of free-to-play and pay-to-play for a long time, remember that all they've really said here is that it is a valuable bonus trait if the candidate has some experience working in live service games with frequent updates. Frequent updates that don't break the game, of course, being good, says John. So slightly clarifying, but not really confirming anything from John there. Considering this all sprung from 3 words on a job post, all I'm saying is don't go too crazy until it has been officially confirmed by the team. However, whilst you are at it, make sure to ask your friends if they are rendering experts, as the team is also in need of one right now. John stating that, quote, "We are a game in very active development. We have a great community manager and a dev team that loves to interact with the amazing people we are building this game for. Keep holding us accountable. We have had a hard time filling the lead rendering engineer role, as you'll have noticed. While it has slowed things down re-getting our visuals where we want them, we have talent on the task and are not blocked. Pro career tip, consider becoming a rendering expert." Then, if you still didn't think these developers were devoted to finishing this game, then get a load of John's updated tattoo. Yes, that's right, the game director, who by the way has worked on multiple huge games before, including Minecraft, has specifically got both of his legs tattooed with Hytale references. Hytale of all things. One leg for Gaia, the god of Orbis, and one leg for Varen, the dark antagonist. Really, this just shows how confident this game industry veteran John Hendricks is in this game. Both Gaia and Varen are each surrounded by the types of mobs that the two control, such as elementals here, here, and here, and also void creatures for Varen. We are also still yet to see, of course, the mystery spoiler mob that John censored on his leg the last time we saw the tattoo, but you can be sure that you'll hear from me first when we see it. Check out the next video for even more information as we lead into, fingers crossed, a summer update. Subscribe for notifications about all things Hytale, stay safe, and keep free. By the way, guys, I may have something very, very exciting to share with you soon. Watch this space.